gotta keep the fire burning. Chase your dream, don't hesitate. Keep on dreaming, keep on yearning. Don't let the flame die while you wait.
And here's Ralph.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Artist Spotlight with Ralph. I'm your host, Ralph Pagano, and we have a great show lined up for you tonight. So we welcome Eliza Rush to the show. Eliza, how are you tonight?
Hey, Ralph, I'm doing great. How are you?
Fantastic. It's great to see you, and look forward to a great show with you tonight. So I learned a few things about you over the past couple days.
What you did?
The Canadian thing, I realized you were from Canada, but you threw some other stuff at me that I wasn't 100% sure of before. Classically trained musician, huh?
Yes.
I can see that, actually.
What gave it away?
Well, just not necessarily the stuff that I've heard you do. We've obviously heard each other perform live a few times, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it was stuff that I've heard you do live, but I don't know, just something about your style, the way you handle yourself, just I don't know, one of those intangible things that was like, okay, I didn't know that, but I wasn't surprised. How's that?
Yeah.
What I was surprised about was that you've only been performing for a couple of years.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm not a stranger to performing. I've been on classical stages for years. But getting up by myself with a guitar in hand in front of people, that's fairly new to me. Yep.
That kind of surprised me. Your stage presence does not reflect that. Let's put it that way.
Good. I'm faking it well.
Well, if you're doing it that well, I don't think you're faking it.
Thank you.
I think it just comes natural. So
it was tough. So when I first started performing in front of people in this way, it was actually an exercise. I had no intentions of doing this as a thing. I wanted to know if I could be okay with being seen and being heard, regardless of what the outcome was. That's all it was. It was an exercise in, can you get up, be seen and be heard, whether or not I like what I did, whether or not they like what I did, can I be okay with that? And that's how it all started.
And are you okay with it?
I'm much better than I was when I started. I thought for sure I was going to die.
I think we all feel that way at some point in time, especially when we first start doing it. So
it was an open mic at Bosergeist in Easton.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I had some friends come along to cheer me on. They actually lied to me and said that they were going to get up and play with me. And then I got there. They're like, "No, you're on your own, kid." I was like, "What?" It was fairly traumatic, and I lived. The moral of that story was I didn't die, and I had committed to myself and to someone else, because it's always better when you're accountable, right?
Yeah.
That I it 3 times over the course of the summer, that I would get up 3 times and do it. And first time was I thought I would die. Second time I thought I would die. Third time I realized I wasn't dying. And I was like, I still think there's more that I'm going to learn if I keep on doing this. And I just fell in love with doing it. I have met and continue to meet an amazing group of people who want to be part of what I'm doing now. And things are just really cool and really fun and really good.
Good. That's great to hear. I did something similar to my daughter, but that's a story for another time. We're here to talk about you. She thought I was going to do something with her on an open mic stage, and I kind of left her hanging and forced her to do it herself. And
well, interesting thing is the one person who left me hanging is now my lead guitarist. So he stuck around.
Yeah, well, sometimes it works out for the better, and she wanted to kill me that night, but ever since then, she's like, I'm glad you did that. So, sometimes that's all it takes. And, get backed into a corner and force yourself to do it, no matter what the outcome is. And then you find out that you're actually pleased with the outcome. And so you want to do it again.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad you did. That's great. So I've heard some of your original stuff, not necessarily when I see you out performing, but I've tuned into a couple of your Facebook Live performances when the quarantine first hit and things got shut down, and tuned in, and you did a couple of original songs, and so I said, I kind of like what I'm hearing, so I'm going to tune in again, and I did, and I enjoyed it. So, and I want to get to some of your music really fast. I don't want to spend the whole hour talking. I would much rather listen to you sing. But you have a project that you're working on, correct?
I sure do.
And how's that coming along?
It's coming along. We're close to a finish line.
Fantastic.
I am recording my first album, and it's actually thanks to the quarantine. So before pre-quarantine, we were going to go in and do a demo that was probably going to be all covers. And then I got locked into my house and I started writing. And all of a sudden, I had 9 songs ready to go. And then we've pretty much finished tracking there's one part of one song that's left to track, but Wayne Becker over at Westwires is doing the project, and he started mixing. And then I was like, Wayne, I have 2 more songs. Can we add 2 more songs? Is this project ever going to finish? So, yeah.
It'll be a box set by the time.
It'll be a box set.
So are we going to get a sneak preview?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool.
You want me to do one now?
Yeah, let's take one now, and then we'll talk about it.
Tip bucket out?
Yeah, should we put our tip bucket out?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually would like to figure out a way to set that up on the screen so that in the future when we have guests on, and idea. Put a virtual tip jar out, and eventually I guess I'll figure that out, or one of us will. And
I bought a big caramel popcorn tin.
Cool.
A snowman on it, and I bought these little LED lights on a wire that I'm going to wrap around it for this weekend. Illuminated tip jar this weekend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was there. I spent the day Saturday at Christmas in the Quarter, and Nick Lindsay was on at 2:00, and there was quite a bit of foot traffic that afternoon. That was like the prime slot. It seemed like 2:00 in the afternoon. So I know you're there Friday night, and then you're there against Saturday at 2, right? So
yeah.
So that's a pretty good slot. We'll talk about your upcoming shows and where people can find you during the course of the night, but
Yep.
let's hear some music.
Okay. We'll do, I want to introduce here, this is Mike Wojcik. He's playing his acoustic percussion setup here. Croker Percussion, shout out to Croker, made this brush box here. And he's going to be accompanying me. So thank you, Mike. And we'll start with a song called Come This Far. Why not? Ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know if I'm ready. I am no longer what I was. I will remain what I've become. Haven't come this far, I'm not sure that I can be broken. Oh, the best is yet to come. Treated me like an option, so I left to make a choice. What I allow will continue, so I learned to use my voice. I only ever look back just to see how far I've come. But if I face to the sun, I am no longer what I was. I will remain what I've become. Haven't come this far, I'm not sure that I can be broken. Oh, the best is yet to come. Life can be tough, but darling, so am I. Don't ever let your fear of falling tear down your dream and die. It's hard before it gets easy. From my weakness comes my strength. It'll begin, it's not much your end. I am no longer what I was. I will remain what I've become. Haven't come this far, I'm not sure that I can be broken. But the best is yet to come. I've come this far. I've come this far. When the road to fire, oh, I am rising. I will remain what I've become. I've come this far, I'm not sure that I can be broken. I know the word I will. I will remain what I've become. What I've become. I am no longer what I was. I will remain what I've become.
Fantastic. It's a nice preview of what's to come. So, did I understand correctly? You just started writing when the quarantine hit?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, that's kind of shocks me. I would have expected that you've been doing this for a long time. And
No, I had people tell me from the beginning, why aren't you writing? Why aren't you writing? You have all the training, you have all the whatever, blah, blah, blah to write. And I was so afraid of doing it wrong that it was really kind of crippling for a long time. I tried, like maybe a year ago is when I started writing, like just dabbling in it here and there. And when the quarantine hit, I think I wrote 4 or 5 in a matter of that many weeks. Just boom, 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 boom.
when you're writing your own music, what is wrong?
No,
You know what I mean?
That's my own stories in my head that
Yeah.
there was a right and a wrong way to do it, and that it would be wrong, and that it would be ridiculed, and it would be, you know.
And since you're Canadian, it would be like Nickelback. And
Yeah. Well, we'll start calling you Nickelback too if the next song sounds exactly like the first one. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. I have faith in you.
Thank you. I'll try to live up to that.
I'm sure you will. No problem with that at all. So where did you gain your inspiration for writing? The types of songs and the message behind the songs.
Life, really. I would say I'm drawing on real live experiences, but I don't go into writing with an inspiration, which is kind of strange. So I would pick up the guitar and I would noodle around with maybe something rhythmic that I heard that I wanted to sort of mess around with, and suddenly it would turn into something. Almost always the music comes first for me.
Okay.
Whether it's a guitar part or a keyboard part. And then once that is there, I will very quickly hear melody. And then as I sing the melody over and over with no words, la 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 la, or bumba lumba, as he likes to tease me with, I will have a particular word or a phrase that will just kind of come out of that. And then I will write the whole song around that.
Oh, okay.
It's
Interesting.
It's a yeah, I never sit down and say, I'm going to write a song about this. It's not how
Okay.
kind of a reverse process for me. The music kind of vomits itself out, and then there's some very strong feeling usually or word that comes out of the music, and then I'm able to put it together. It needs to be organic for me. It has to, the words have to feel like the music, or the music has to feel like the word. Like they have to be so knitted together. It's hard for me to just take words and sit down and write a song.
Okay. Makes sense, definitely. And I've heard people do it both ways. Some people are like, oh, I have this poem that I wrote, and now I have to turn it into music. And
so I have done that as well. One of the songs on the album was that it was the words were there first.
Did you find that more difficult?
Honestly, it's all very difficult. If I'm completely honest, no part of this is easy.
No, you're right about that. But like you have the words, and now you want to put music to the words. I guess not necessarily difficult, but did you find yourself changing a lot of what you had written down when it comes to the lyrics?
Sometimes, yeah.
To make everything fit.
Yes, you have to modify.
I can use a different word here and say the same thing, but this word's shorter, and so it's not too many syllables now. And yeah, okay. Yeah, but you're right. There's nothing easy about anything that you do, and people should understand that. That's that there's an art to it. There's no doubt about it. No, not everybody can do it. I know some great musicians who never wrote a single word, let alone a song, but they're phenomenal on the guitar, or on the keyboard, or whatever. They don't write, and there's a special knack to writing. There's no doubt about that.
And there's
just listening to your stuff, I can't believe that it's been such a short period of time. So
there's definitely a truth to like the muse. Like it's either there or it's not. You
Yeah.
know, there's times I have had some songs just come out all at once. It's rare that that happens, but occasionally that's happened. There's times when I'm like, I feel like I should be writing, but there's nothing there. Like, you know, so
Uh-huh.
it's I'm learning to pay more attention to when the inspirations are there. Like if I find myself humming something, I'm like, what are you humming? What you go write that down, you know, or go record
Yeah.
it, or you know, just starting to pay attention to that kind of thing. So it's let me tell you, it's a wild, wild ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. When I was working a regular job, um, I would walk around with a sheet of paper in my back pocket, and like right in the middle of the day, something would pop into my head, and I'd go, "Oop, I got to write that down," so that when I get home, I can work on it. And you know, I'd come home with notes from work, like, "You were thinking about this while you were working?" Yeah, I was. So, um, okay, sounds like the original audio was set to on your phone. That maybe it's compressing the sound just a little bit. I thought you sounded great, and I actually got a text message from somebody that's listening saying it sounds great. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure on what end. You know, it looks like there's something a setting on your phone, a sound bit on your phone that maybe is taken over. But you know, let's see what happens with the next song. And I don't want to keep going and messing around with settings. I thought we were pretty good sound wise. So,
Okay.
and like I said, I got a text from somebody saying it sounds great. So um, let's see what happens.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm anxious to hear more music. So let's do
right.
that.
Let's do that. All right, this is a song. This is the song that started it all in the lockdown. Actually, I wrote it. I think it was when I was doing a live, and you were there. It was in March, and I had all the music for this song, and I had pages and pages of words and lines and phrases and ideas, and I just couldn't put them all together. And my good friend Andrew Dunn, a wonderful singer-songwriter, he got on a messenger video chat with me after that live, and he was like, all right, lady, let's get this song written. Like, let me help pull this out of you. So we finished it.
I remember him making some kind of comment like that on the thread. Yeah.
12:05 midnight, and that was my birthday, and I'm like, this is the best birthday present ever. Like, we finished this song.
Cool.
So it's called Daughter of the Sun. I don't know what I did with my picks. Oh, down
There
there.
they are.
Hang on. Oh, all right. Sometimes I play this with a pick, sometimes I don't. I think I will tonight. I awaken in the silence from the violence of the night. In the darkness, I can hear my spirit calling. The earth is humming under me, and I feel the dew stick to my feet. A breeze is stirring all around. I feel the heat rise from the ground. The morning light caresses me. It dances on the whispering weed, spirit calling. I hear the cry of my heart, a song of healing, a song of love. I breathe in the wind. I surrender to the one, and I am free. I have found it where I come from. I have found where I belong. Beauty matters, truth matters, speak calm. Release the dark, embrace the light, and live to love. Become the light and shine your light on everything. The sun upon an eagle's wing, born with the fire inside of me. Hope is spirit calling. I hear the cry of my heart. A song of beauty, a song of love. I look to
Sounds great. So you said you have 9 songs for the album.
9 plus 2.
9 plus 2. Okay.
No.
Gonna get 11, right?
Yes.
And
Still to forward.
to this point, you haven't released any music anyway, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have a YouTube channel where you have videos posted?
No, it's
No?
Eliza Rush Music. Yeah.
All right. Why don't we let everybody know exactly where they can find you on social media and stuff?
Facebook, Eliza Rush Music. YouTube, Eliza Rush Music. Instagram, Eliza Rush Music.
So it's all Eliza Rush Music.
It is Eliza, E-L-I-Z or Z if you're Canadian, Rush, R-U-S-H. And then, yeah.
So it would be E-L-I-Z-A, eh?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there. It'll be the only time, I promise.
Okay,
So a few times that I've seen you perform live, obviously you're doing a lot of covers. And
yes.
Unfortunately, that's what everybody wants to hear, the covers. People want to hear stuff that they're familiar with and, stuff they want to hear. So it's a little bit tough getting your original music out there. Do you filter it in during your shows?
I do filter it in occasionally. Sometimes I chicken out. I'm scared people are gonna be like, what is she playing? Boo, get off the stage. But this one over here is my observer, and he always tells me that the crowd is always very engaged during my originals, and they really,
the
originals are going over very well.
Yeah. So,
I feel like if you draw them in with a couple very, very good covers, something that you do very strongly, then you go, hey, I want to share an original song with you and blah, 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 that they're more apt to listen and be engaged. Whereas if you start the night off with, hey, I just wrote this song, they'll be like, I don't want to hear this,
right.
and it's unfortunate, but I guess that's where it is. So it's, I guess, more, do you want to get your music out there or you want to make a little bit of money, So, and the money is in the covers, but I guess my question is, yeah, how do you find the passion to play the covers with the same passion as you do your original music, or do you?
So I've been really picky about what I sing, what I cover. And it's been one of the biggest push pulls I've had, because I won't go out and do all the standards that everyone else is doing because I don't want to, So when I first started, I found music that really spoke to me, and that I knew that I would sing well, I would deliver it well. And a lot of that was not familiar, and a lot of people thought they were originals, actually.
Okay.
And we were, when we first started gigging, it was you play wherever anybody will pay you to come and play.
Right.
But as you start going to the bigger places, the bars, where you kind of have to be a little more, you have to cater a little bit more to the crowd,
Right.
So started infusing more of the popular songs into what we do. Like when I play out with my whole band, we'll do more. And I have a good friend of mine who, Jason Ruff, when he comes out and sings with me, he'll come sing harmonies, and we can do so much more just with the male voice. Like you guys have way more options.
I don't know about that.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
But so it's I find stuff that is either challenging and fun for me to sing. I also have to keep my band interested in what they're doing, because they don't want to get up and play cotton candy for 4 hours either. And so,
Right.
It's always before a gig, we have this existential crisis of, oh my gosh, do we have enough covers, like of the right covers,
Yeah.
And so it's finding that balance of, like you said, throw them what they want, a little bit of what's familiar and gets their toes tapping, draw them in. And then, I don't, like, we do a Chris Smither tune, which is just it's a standard blues tune. It's a great song. I sing the heck out of it. My guys play the heck out of it. You hear a blues riff, you're going to tap your toes no matter what.
Right.
Kind of thing. So you kind of, there's like a science to this, picking your music for your shows.
Yeah. It's funny you say that we have more options. I always feel the females have more options.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
for some reason, it's perfectly okay to be sitting at a bar or in a restaurant or a tap room or whatever, and hearing a woman cover a Van Morrison tune. But it's really tough for a guy to do Britney Spears. You know what I mean? It's like.
Well, I'll give you that. And then what I'll say to that is, for me personally, I can't cover a Van Morrison tune in its original key. That's not in a part of my range that suits me.
Yeah.
There are some girls who have a lot of strength in that part of their range and can do those songs, can carry them well. I'm not one of those.
Uh-huh.
So that's
what
why
they make capos for.
Well, that's true, but then the band, it's not the key it's in.
Yes, true. Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I was recording, and some of the band members were like, "Did you really have to use a capo on that song?" Yes, because the original key I wrote it in, I can't sing it in. So, yes, I used the capo. Here you go. It's transposed for you. Just play the notes, But it's funny. So, you feel like you can play those covers just as passionately as you do your original songs, or is it much easier to just draw on that passion?
If we have taken a cover and made it our own,
yes.
Then that's much closer to that passion that comes with an original. But there's definitely something that's way more connected to singing an original tune than to.
Yeah, if you could do 3 hours of originals, I bet you would.
Maybe.
If you felt like you
I
could
might-
hold the audience for 3 hours.
I might throw in a few fun tunes, that we really like. But yeah.
Cool. So what do you got for us next?
You want more? Maybe we'll go.
Always want more.
Forward. Okay, hang on. I'm going to switch. I'll try not to whack myself in the head.
Don't do that.
That was you. And gracefully move over here.
So what part of Canada are you from?
I was born
Cold part.
the cold part. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, that's the whole country.
I was born in Toronto, and I think I was maybe 3 when my family moved about 2 hours west of Toronto to London, Ontario. So I grew up in London, and then I went off to college on the other side of Toronto, east of Toronto, in Kingston, Ontario. And then I situated myself back in Toronto for a couple of years before I moved to New Jersey, actually. And I decided to go back to school, to grad school. That's what brought me to the United States.
You've been here ever since, huh?
Yes, I moved here in 2001, and I'm still here. So I can't believe that.
I'm not one who generally holds grudges, but I still haven't forgiven Joe Carter for 1993. So, but we weren't going to talk about sports. So,
No. I think I saw that live. Didn't he dance like around the whole field?
Yep, he sure did.
He did. Like,
He rubbed it in. There's no doubt about it.
I remember that. I seem to remember being in a big club with lots of college mates, and we watched that go down. So that was a good time. Sorry, not sorry.
It was a good time for you.
Time
For me as a Phillies fan, no. And no more sports.
All right.
Just kidding.
This was I think the first one I wrote on keyboard, actually. Keyboard is my primary instrument, but I was writing on guitar. It's called I Wonder Why.
Very nice. I am somehow getting a lot of static.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
What's that?
I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody else was getting it or if it was just me.
I'll move back over here.
I was getting that before.
We weren't getting it in the sound check, but we started getting it when we went live. So
It's coming from the phone. It's not coming from the phone.
yeah.
Yeah, the internet can be funky sometimes,
You think?
unfortunately. And we were getting great sound when we did sound check. It was perfect. And up until that song, what I was hearing was great. Steve was saying he was getting a little bit of a funky sound.
Yeah.
And like I said, I got a text message that said, everything sounded great. So I don't know if it's something on our end or something on your end or who knows, but it's not there now. So
It only happens when the music starts. It's bizarre. I don't know what it is.
yeah, good question. Like I said, that's the first song that I've heard it on. So
Turn the talkback volume on the phone down so it's not feeding like a feedback loop.
that might be it. Yeah. That might be what Steve was talking about earlier.
So turn your phone like so that we could still hear Ralph, but not quite as loud.
Yeah, you don't need to hear me too loud.
Well, can't hear you anymore.
You don't need to hear me at all. No,
Okay,
really.
here we go.
We're here to hear you, not me. So again, beautiful song.
Thank
A
you.
little bit, your first song was really upbeat and like kind of rock and roll, and that song was kind of mellow and smooth, and I don't want to sound, bring out my feminine side here, but it sounded pretty. It was a pretty song, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Yes, that's supposed to be my what's the word? My winsome kind of that's cool. That one's gonna sound really cool on the album. That one's pretty much just the way you heard it on the album.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's happening at the end. I didn't see the rest of that.
It says as the music gets quieter and the noise reduction starts to kick in. So basically, I think your phone was trying to reduce the noise, the background noise, and it was treating your music as background noise. Sometimes it does that on the auto setting. So, and I think that's one thing we didn't think about.
Well, actually, I am using a condenser mic in my phone.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I use it all the time when I go live. When I record. And
shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Unless...
well, we set the gain before we started on that, and it's a Shure MV88, and it plugs into my Lightning port, Steve. But I could unplug it, and we could just go with the phone. But if we're going to sound like we're in a tin can,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that the condenser mic sounds much better.
Yeah.
Sometimes Zoom likes to control the sound, and
Zoom takes over.
yeah, you have to go in and play with the sound in Zoom. I'm learning these little things. Um, so unfortunately, the first few shows, I'm playing with a little bit of technical difficulties here and there, and
All good.
that's all right. Like I say, you sound great. So,
Thank you.
and everything is coming through to me, at least, except towards the end of that last song. I wasn't getting any of the other interference. So, hopefully, we'll go back and listen to it later too and see how everything sounded.
The album, I'm just gonna self-promote myself here.
Yes, please do. That's what you're here for.
Every song, like you mentioned, the sort of the contrast between the first song and then that third song. I think I can safely say that not one sound on this album will sound remotely like another one. Stylistically, they're all so different. The first one that we did, we just heard the first mix of that one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sounds, it's a little bit, there's two on there that kind of will bring out the little bit harder side of me. And then there's, of course, gonna be the pretty songs, and there's going to be the, tap your toes songs. There's going to be there's just one of everything, it feels like.
Yeah. But everything sounds great. And I think that's something that's difficult to capture is that diversity between the songs. And, because you do have a tendency to, at least I know for myself, I have a tendency to do what's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And then till I get to the point where I'm like, I'm not playing that song because it sounds like this song. You know what I mean? And I got to do something different to make it different, or I'm not going to play it now.
Right.
And you spend all that time writing it, and then you go, I'm not playing it because it sounds like this song. But yeah, and that can be the challenge sometimes too in writing. Figuring out how to take something that's in your comfort zone and make it different than the last song you wrote that was in your comfort zone.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
So far, these three are totally different.
So many of my songs were exercises, or like, oh, I heard this rhythmic motif. What can I do with that? Boom, it turns into a song, Oh, I heard this song and I really liked the structure of it. It was a really clever structure. Can I write a song in that same structure? Wow, this is a really cool song, and like it's kind of fun that they start as exercises and they turn into really cool things.
Yeah. You're going to start popping music out like crazy, aren't you?
I hope so.
Yeah. Even after the quarantine's over,
right?
You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm starting to like this writing stuff.
Some days I do like it. Other days I'm like, beat my head on a wall. It's not coming out the way that I want it to.
So, how often do you hit writer's block?
I've always feel like I'm in writer's block.
Yeah.
Until the song comes out, I'm in writer's block.
Some people go through stretches. I go through stretches where I can't write a song to save my life. Or maybe it feels like months at a time. And then all of a sudden, I'll get inspired by something. And in 5 days, I'll write 3 songs. And it's like, okay, writer's block's done. And then it's right back to writer's block again. And it's like, it's kind of crazy. But, it's something I try to fight through and be more consistent, but it's so tough. And, I just wonder if other people feel that, or run into that same thing.
I can't draw blood from a stone, if it's not happening, it's not. If I start dreaming about the song, like for me, it's the song that has no words. It's always the music is there, but the words just aren't coming. And if I'm like waking up 3 nights in a row, like singing the song, I'll be like, I gotta walk away from this. And just forget about it for a couple of days. And then when I sit with it again, sometimes with a fresh mind, I'll get a new idea or or some songs maybe just aren't supposed to turn into anything, and it was a musical idea, and that's that.
I've set them aside and gone back to them 2 years later.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden,
Actually, I think my favorite song on this album. So when I had all the people around me telling me, you should write, and I was so scared to try. And so I had this chord progression in my head, and it was 3 chords and, 1, 4, 5 kind of deal. And I had words that came right away, and they were 2 overlapping ideas. And I recorded it. It was 1 minute long, and I sent it to my friend and guitarist. And he sent me back, and he was like, really? You couldn't do any better than this? And I was like, that was it. I was like, I'm never even trying again. Like, that's it. That was the first thing I tried to write. And I got, really, you can't, really, it sounds like Breakfast at Tiffany's. Really? Like, that was the response I got. So I put it away, and for almost a year. But some part of me wanted to come back, because what I'd written was essentially a chorus. And I didn't know how to develop that, to turn that where the verses should go, what it needed. I didn't know. And I tried a couple of times, and I was like, forget it. And then one day I just sat down, and the whole thing was there. And it's brilliant, if I may say so myself. And it's probably going to be one of my favorite tracks on the album. I've got me, we've got 12-string guitar, we've got percussion, we've got mandolin, we've got a gospel choir, we've got it's like
wow.
Freaking, yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's your favorite. It's your favorite track.
It might be. It was. I'll say, in this whole process of recording, it was my favorite one to witness coming to life. Because I had been hearing the layers in my head for so long, and to bring in the people who took those ideas and made them happen, and to watch all of that just sort of come alive, it was completely overwhelming, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually going to work. Like what I'm hearing in my head is actually going to work. It's completely cool. So
yeah, it is. It's awesome. It's a great feeling when something like that happens.
Yeah.
So are we going to hear that tonight? Or?
No, I'm not going to sing that one.
No. Okay.
No.
I'm not going to.
Because there's too much behind that one to try and transform it into a solo acoustic thing, right?
I do it solo acoustic all the time, and people.
You do?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do. We could do that.
And you're going to keep me hanging and make me listen to it another time.
I could do it. I mean, I wasn't planning to do that one, but we could do it. You want to do that one?
That one?
It's up to you. It really is. I don't want to push you into doing anything. So I want you to do what you feel comfortable with.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well,
Let's
this
do
is
it.
the last one?
Huh?
Is this the last one?
Yeah, we got 6 minutes. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And if there was something else that you would much rather do that you had in mind, do it.
No, I had a couple, and I wasn't sure if we wanted to go out on a soft note, or a Beatles note, or a feel good note, or I don't know. So we'll do this one that we were talking about.
Okay, cool.
It's called Worthy. And I'm going to retune before I do this, because I'm keyboard so high.
The Capo, the world's fastest automatic detuner.
Right? HR hates this time of year anyways. See the light shines from behind your eyes, and your spirit wants to soar into the sky. And it's the same light you see in others too, and it's shining here on you. Through the valley, can you sing a brighter song? See the beauty. Oh, it's been here all along. No more hiding. Can you stand here and believe there is so much more to you than you could ever see? 'Cause you are worthy of being loved. You are worthy. You are worthy, oh, love is the light that brightens every heart's darkness. You're deserving of a bright and sparkles, and life is much too long to settle for what's less than broken light. Find the courage, oh, look into the dark, and you'll discover the power of your life being covered. And the biggest chance by far is to stand in the light and be seen who we are. Stand in the light of your Stand in the light of
Well, I can definitely see why you're excited about that song, and well, you should be.
The
Definitely.
layers are so magical in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear it on the album. Guess I'll have to wait a little bit longer, but
A
when
little
do
bit
you
longer.
anticipate being able to release anything? Do you have a projected date, a time frame in mind? I know they don't always work out. Trust me, been there, done that.
I haven't even asked that question. I love the way that we're working. We're kind of working not on a timeline. We're doing what needs to be done with each song. And if we have to go back and fix things, then we do. And there's not really a clock or a timer running, which has been
Yeah,
nice.
and it's always best not to rush it.
Yeah.
Until you're ready. And,
so it's going to be soon, though. Like I said, Wayne has started mixing. 8 of the 9 original ones are tracked completely. We did some live tracking with the whole band. We've done some, tracking things separately. And then the 2 more that I have to do, one will be tracked live. Actually, they both will be tracked live. So it should be fairly quick once we get in there and do them.
And then you'll have 4 more by then to throw
Yes.
out.
That'll be the next album, right?
Yeah. At some point, you actually have to do that. You have to go, all right, next album.
Yeah.
This is enough, And yeah, when you get to 10, 11, 12 songs, I think that's about most people's listening limit anyway. You know what I mean? So if you go beyond that, you're going to lose their interest. So, and if you just keep piling songs on, it's an opinion, but if you just keep piling songs on, then you have nothing to follow it up with. And so you release your music and then you disappear for a year and people forget about you. So,
Yeah.
If you
it's probably better to shorten it a little bit and release stuff in more rapid fire succession, I guess. And stay in the limelight.
It's all going to be a learning curve for me. I've never done
absolutely. Yeah.
If you put 16 songs on one album, that one great song is going to be lost somewhere around 13 or 12 or something. And,
right. Exactly.
Just put them on the next album, like what you were saying, Ralph.
True. Very true. I mean, and don't necessarily take my advice. I'm not an expert either. So, you know what I mean? I'm still learning my way through all this nonsense too. So, and there is a learning curve, and, you do things on the first album that you go, on the second album, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. And, you learn and, you make improvements and, but as long as you're pleased with what comes out, that's really what matters.
Listen, as I was reminded, we've created something from nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
How cool is that?
And that is your own personal thing. It's not, it's something that somebody can never take away from you. Is what you have created, and even if you've had help along the way and people have added parts and you've collaborated with people and stuff, but always the original idea was yours, and and that's something nobody can ever take away from you.
And I do. I want to shout out my people. Can I do that? Can I shout out?
You absolutely can. Yes.
I've already shouted out Mike here. But Brooke South is my guitarist, very good friend. Josh Skirman is my bass player. He's also the bass player for Frog Holler. They're way more important than I am. But Josh plays with me. Richard Frickers, local drummer, he plays with the band. He's been wonderful. My friend Jason Ruff, he's actually on one of my tracks on the album. I wrote a duet for the 2 of us, which is great. So yeah, everybody has had a part in bringing all of this to life for me. So
I've worked with Rich Vickers myself. He sat in on drums for my band one night for a gig. So
I love Rich. Yeah.
He's good people.
Yeah.
Real good.
Eliza, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your music with us. And God, I wanted the show to last like 3 hours instead of 1 because I was really enjoying everything I was hearing, and
Thank you.
And it's the first time you pointed out the other day in an email that we've chatted back and forth and emailed back and forth, but we've never really had a chance to sit and talk to each other. You know, when we've seen each other out performing somewhere, it's been like, hey, that song sounded great. Just wanted to stop by and say hi. Yep. I'll sit here and listen to a couple more. And, have a great gig, and you walk away, you know. And that's been about the extent of our conversations most of the time. But
Yeah,
you know,
this
it was a
has been
pleasure to
nice.
get to
Thank you.
talk to you. And
Friday and Saturday live.
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, unfortunately, I have a gig Friday night, and
Yeah, you do.
Saturday I have a family commitment, so I won't be around. And I'll actually be down there at Christmas in the Quarter all day on Sunday. So
Oh,
it's too bad. Well, I don't know if you know Amber Pierce, I'm sure.
yes.
And Amber doesn't have a sound system yet, so I promised her she could use mine. So
That's
you
great.
know, I'm bringing my sound system down to her, and so I figure I might as well spend the day there and listen to
Right.
some music. And
Well, I think Chelsea Lynn Meyer's going to show up on Friday. She said she was going to come with her family, and if she's there,
Oh,
I'm going
really?
to drag her up to sing with me. So that'll
oh
be fun.
yes, absolutely. Chelsea's awesome.
Yeah.
That would be great. So
She's a huge supporter. Been a huge encouragement to me as well. So
great, fantastic. Again, folks, thanks for tuning in. Eliza Rush Music on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube.
yep.
You're not on Reverb Nation, right?
Not yet. No.
No, not yet. Okay. And no website just yet, right?
Oh yeah. ElizaRushMusic.com.
Okay, ElizaRushMusic.com.
Yes.
And of course, we can't wait to hear the music actually come out. So keep an
Yes.
eye out, an ear out. I will try and let people know as soon as it comes out,
Wonderful.
you know, through my several different places where I can let people know.
Yes.
And, you know, once the music comes out, if you want to get some airplay, we'll be happy to play it on the radio side as well. So,
Wonderful.
you know, and maybe we'll get you back on when it first comes out.
I would love that.
A real in-depth look at what's going on with
Let's
your
do it.
music.
Yeah.
But again, it's been a pleasure having you on tonight. It's a fantastic show and fantastic sound. I'm thrilled to have you on, and
Thank you so much.
again, as
And
soon as
Steve,
the
I'm
album comes
totally
out.
down for a release party show.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, so you'll just have to keep me posted.
All
And,
right. I will.
we'll get you on for a little release party.
Perfect.
How's that sound? All right,
It's a deal. Yep.
great. You guys have a fantastic night.
You as well. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
You gotta keep the fire burning. Chase your dream, don't hesitate. Keep on dreaming, keep on yearning. Don't let the flame die while you wait.
The hiss was like building through the songs.
Yeah,
and
it says this isn't getting fixed here. Just don't go too close.